Hey everyone, I just want to make a quick video. This is my third time trying to do this. I just want to summarize just how I feel. Regarding the, it's stemming just from the presidential inauguration and going over into the day. But the Women's March, which is basically I'm going to cover, is partially what this is about, but also trans into the poster child for today's Women's March, one of them anyway. Um, it's just they have the right to protest or the right to march, do whatever they want. Uh, you know, when it comes to an abortion, I just feel like I challenge myself. I try to say, what if a woman is pregnant and with a guy also, and he just helps and leaves her, and then she's left with the financial burden, and then what's going through her mind is like, oh my god, can I even afford this child to bring in the world? I even made a video about that a while back. So I try to look at both sides of the issue. But them thinking that Donald Trump's going to take their rights away, that's never going to happen. You have more rights than the countries such as Saudi Arabia, who funded the Clinton Foundation, by the way, who Hillary Clinton, who said she's a champion for women's rights. They stone gays to death and don't treat their women like first class citizens. That's for sure. So the whole and like will I get paid as much as a man? It's illegal to pay a man more than a woman for his job. Now, here's the things that come into factor: experience, the time you've been working there. If you're in the same position, but that someone else has been in at that place of employment longer than you, yes, they'll probably have a little bit higher uh, income or pay. There might be a little bit of a gap, but that's like I said, according to just time that they've been there and the experience that they have over you. Now, if two people are going in at the same time for the same job and they both get hired, they're both going to get paid the same. Um, Now, getting to my point though, the Women's March thing, it didn't really bother me, but until it's just more of an anti-Trump protest. It seems like now, like I said, women who like they think they don't have the equal rights. And I'm for women having equal rights. It'd be, I think, terrible if they didn't, because I mean, it's not great to. Uh, let's just face it; it wouldn't be right and it wouldn't be good at all to treat someone like a second-class citizen when we're all equal. And that's what I think our country needs to do: is unite, despite whether you chose Trump or not. I would have tried to at least been united even if Hillary got to it, had been elected. But get to my point is the poster child for this whole Women's March is just basically threw any credibility, in my opinion, that they had whatsoever down the drain. Um, but Madonna was preaching about this is going to be the revolutionary love, and it starts now. That got all thrown down the toilet when she basically insinuated this when she said, quote, "Yes, I have thought an awful lot of blowing up the White House." Now, isn't that just loving and peaceful? Yeah. And she went on to say to the detractors, "Fuck you." Well, you can have your dissent, yes, but I mean, when you make statements like that, I'm sorry, I don't, I don't, I don't tolerate that crap. When you make threats like that, basically, you can have, like I said, you can have your. It's okay to have dissent. That's good to have. It's good to have a discussion and people with different opinions. Because like I said, I challenge myself with the uh, abortion issue. But when you make comments and statements like that, you thought about blowing up the White House, and which is she was basically insinuating because Donald Trump's in the White House, she would like to blow it up with him in there. That's basically more or less what she was saying. Uh, I'm sorry I couldn't get it. Just turned me away from the Women's March, and any woman who is for equality shouldn't be behind that. That's not what a woman, any woman, any sane person should not want to rally behind that. Those are just my thoughts. Those are just my feelings, my opinions on all of this. What's going on? Uh, it just seems like. this country's been divisive and at each other's throats rather than being coming together as one. Uh, these past 8 years, and it's probably going to continue just because you know, one side's candidate didn't get elected. Uh, Speaking of, just before I go, people want to say, Bush or not Bush, but Trump, he didn't win the popular vote. Well, if you think about it, he didn't campaign to win the popular vote. He went in the states where he knew he needed to get the electoral college. That's what mattered. He went in the Wisconsin, the Michigan, uh, Pennsylvania, and he campaigned hard in North Carolina and Florida. I mean, he was out there campaigning just 24 hours a day, 7 days a week almost. While Clinton, she basically probably thought she had it in the bag. And where did most of her popular vote come from? Stemmed from California and New York, where, and that's another reason why we have the electoral college, is so that, like, just parts of the country doesn't dictate the uh, presidential election or any election. Um, but have the popular vote, is that if that's what got you into the presidential uh, you know selection, I can promise you that Trump would have campaigned differently. I mean, he probably would have gone into parts of California and gotten and rallied and spoke there, and probably parts of New York as well. And but he campaigned in the swing states, the states that he needed for the electoral college. That's how this whole democracy works. But just that's basically all I want to say. I just think this women's march turned into just another anti-Trump protest more than what its intended purpose was at the beginning. So with that said, as always, I'm Nam, and always use your noodle.